Hello, everyone. You are listening to the third episode of the Super Ultimate Podcast. My name is Dan, and I am joined by Yalinca.
Hi.
And Riccio.
Yeah.
And today we are going to talk about, remember that there was a harmonica attachment in Death Stranding? Did either of you ever see that?
Oh, yeah, I did. I used it.
That would be terrible.
I accidentally equipped, yes, please don't actually play that harmonica, which is why I brought it up. I accidentally equipped it once, and I sat down, and then he just played from it, and everyone sitting there watching was like, oh my god.
See, now they know there's a real harmonica in the room.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could have put in that sound effect later. It means nothing.
Mental note to add a sound effect, because nothing actually played.
We all just played it off really well that there was actually a harmonica sound.
It went a little something like this. No, I didn't put it in.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Well, it's off to a great start.
Boy, that was the most realistic harmonica sound I've ever heard.
Why would you go more
So
Canadian
Death
for that?
Stranding, huh?
Hi.
Man, do we actually want to talk about somehow where that game go? Because dang.
I don't know if we should,
Why?
because some people are still playing it.
Okay, so turn off this podcast.
I mean, if we're gonna do spoiler stuff, we should probably at least say
yeah.
Dude, I can put a
listen
timer on my
to-
phone and say like we have 3 minutes, and then we just
No. You put a note in the description.
No.
We're gonna fucking talk.
no.
Hey, spoilers for Death Stranding. Turn off this podcast at this
The
moment.
description does not properly go into Apple.
Okay, all right.
Let's not ever focus on. There's a lot of wild shit that doesn't go.
Hey, if you're still playing Death Stranding, stop listening for
Should I-
now.
should I-
Or
Oh, I like
no.
it. No. Because if there's no timer, we listen to Giant Bombcat. I fucking hate when you're smashing through it and you're like,
to see.
I think it's done, and then you can't chance it. You chance to see if you went too far sometimes, and it's like
What are you talking about?
when you're skipping through a podcast, but you're doing like the 15 seconds at a time or whatever to try to get the fuck through it,
okay.
and then you're just hearing like dies and can't believe that biggest revelation when
Red
the
wedding. It's like, oh, then you
shot
need
him in
to
the
leave.
throat,
Right.
like at the end of the. It's like, what the fuck? What? So that's the only reason I'd give like a timer and then like not speed run through it, but have a nice like, hey man, it's like we're 2 minutes in, count 5 minutes.
Let's have a timer, but we don't need to speed through it. We'll see how long it takes. But, like,
When the alarm goes off, we go, okay, 2 more minutes, two more minutes.
wait, stop watch it. Stop watch it.
Yeah, well, sure.
Ugh.
I'll make some hand signals when it's time to go. Okay,
The ones
2
we were
more
talking
minutes.
about, he'll get some of this.
All right, so how long are we talking about the end of this fucking video game?
Let's go with. Do you think we can talk about it in 5 or 10 minutes?
I'd say maximum 10.
Maximum. So
Give it a 10.
Skip ahead 10 minutes to be safe.
Yes.
How
Okay.
about that?
Yes.
okay, if you get to the 10-minute mark and we say go back 3 minutes, you'll know. I'll be aware. Don't worry, your buddy got you.
This podcast is becoming a choose your own adventure
This is
book.
awesome. All right, yeah.
All right, now if you
man.
want to open the door, go to minute 45.
Do you guys do that?
And like if I were to actually,
Oh, you did it too early. You have to do it at minute 45.
Yeah, that'd be fucking wild if I.
Do you guys like read those books and just be like, no, tell me how to win?
No, I would keep
I
my
don't wanna
thumb.
choose it. Just tell me how to win.
I'd keep my thumb on the page and then go to both of them, and I was like,
All right, you right. Okay.
nah, I like this one.
I would, yeah, I'd keep the mark of where I was and then potentially go back if I
Yeah.
didn't like
Okay.
what I
Yeah.
ended up reading.
Yeah, essentially hacking.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a childhood blast from
Yeah,
the
I know,
past.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
You said it.
Yeah,
And
I
was just
did.
like,
I
I need to somehow make that sound like a clip somewhere so I don't have to do it anymore because I do it so often it tires me out.
Do you think?
Just to go every
In-
time.
Do you think in elementary schools they actually still do like scholastic
Oh,
stuff? Where
definitely.
they?
I don't know.
Oh,
if
I'm
it's
sure, yeah.
Scholastic
But why? Because then
necessarily,
you'd just be like, I'm gonna go to whatever chapters
Scholastic,
or
I
Indigo
think, is
or Amazon
a
or
Canadian thing, actually.
sponsors. What?
I think Scholastic.
Yeah, Scholastic.
Canadian?
I think it's
Yeah,
Canadian.
Scholastic.
Scholastic. Yeah, Scholastic Playground. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, at that age, do you really think they're hacking to the net to
No, I'm
figure
saying the
out the
parents are
end
like,
of
what the fuck is this, dude?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well.
but it's more the parents, or they're just like, yeah, no, we'll download that on
So
your
you're saying
whatever.
that parents don't read?
No, I'm saying the parents will be like, yeah, fuck doing it through a
They don't
flyer in a
own
school.
books.
We're just gonna order it online on some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure. I can definitely see it. Like
They get a
them
big
going
flyer
to-
that just has like a go to this link.
Yeah, it just has Amazon.ca on it.
They give the kid a fucking iPad or something. Like, bring this to your parents, man. They'll just order some shit. Keep that iPad.
They actually have like iPads in some schools now as like a.
You know what? It's probably a Scholastic.
Still isn't Death Stranding.
I didn't start the timer.
Okay.
I didn't start the
But
timer.
it's like the 10 minutes doesn't even matter anymore.
Dude, I didn't start the timer. Literally, if someone skipped 10 minutes, everything is fucked. Everything is fucked.
10 minutes later, they'll still have 5 minutes of the spoiler
No.
game.
Wouldn't this be wild though? This is actually what Death Stranding is.
Scholastic adventure books.
So at the start, Sam.
Death Stranding is not choose your own adventure.
No, that's not. Okay, so the 10 minutes.
They already skipped. It's too late.
We never said start, so the 10 minutes starts now.
Okay, great. End of that game's fucking dog shit.
It's stupid,
And
dude.
cheaped out the rest of my time running around delivering things and having a great time.
I liked it.
Is it because they showed you the same thing 14 times and then you knew what was going on?
So similar to the way I like enjoy movies by just not thinking. I enjoyed what was unraveling in front of me by staring at it.
Wait, you used the term unraveling. What unraveled?
So there was
You said
there was a
so
beach.
instantly. Okay.
There was a beach that we went to, and you know what? I'm a man that loves.
Hold on.
I'm a man.
Which
Hold on
beach?
now. Hold on now. I'm a man that likes sitting down on a beach.
Hang on,
Now,
man.
if you're gonna treat me with a good time by having me sit down on a beach 5 times, now I'm gonna tell you that's a great
But how many
time.
times did you have to kneel on the beach and get
Now-
sent back to the beginning?
Let me tell you, I tried to run out of that area as hard as I could.
Oh, so did I.
Until I just succumbed. So once I succumbed, that was a.
It's interesting because I think he was trying to make a point, because at the end of that sequence, Sam puts the gun to his head and like tries to pull the trigger or whatever to like escape the beach. It doesn't work, but it's supposed to be like he doesn't want to be stuck here forever. But neither do I. Like
That's
what?
also how I felt. Like, no, Sam, give me the gun.
Yeah, put a fucking
Please.
montage in here of him being stuck and do like the Metal Gear Solid 5 where it's playing the music when they're smoking the cigar and it's like
boy.
skipping time. Do that instead or
That's
something.
pretty
I don't
wild.
know.
I like that.
Yeah, see? That's good.
I still like. I don't know. I like Death Stranding. I think the final thing after the credits was hilarious, but
the baby's a girl. Who cares? If whatever. It has nothing to do with anything in the fucking game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It literally changes nothing.
imagine if that'd be wild enough. Like, what's it? Okay, I guess like Star Wars would be like a series. But
I mean,
like,
I guess it's like, okay, everyone assumed the baby was a boy over the whole thing, which
what
doesn't
if,
make any sense because technically they should have been able to see the baby through the goop, right? They
how
could
wild
know.
would it be if another thing did that? Like Guardians of the Galaxy happens. And it's like, Gert's a chick.
It doesn't make a
What? It
difference.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't change
No, I
anything.
know that's what I'm saying, but imagine if something else had the balls to do
It's like Kojima just read about the fact that
Women. Sorry.
that. Read about what?
He just found out about women. He's like, oh my god, we can make
Oh,
her a
wait, we
fucking
can make-
girl.
I thought you said
women can be babies too.
What the It's gotta be Louise. What?
Yeah, that was.
So
I remember just being like, what?
Like fine, or make it a girl from the start. Like it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Like it's totally.
I think despite that,
The baby
whole-
has a baby character. It's a they,
Yeah.
really. Like it doesn't need.
It's a baby. No
Yeah.
one fucking cares.
But it was
I
also
care
like a
for the
machine,
baby,
not a
but you know what
machine
I mean.
baby, but it was like a.
It's
it
a
was
bridge baby.
It was
Like,
a bridge
it's
baby.
a-
But
it's a dead baby.
The thing though,
Or as characters will frequently remind you, it's a piece of equipment. Don't
Yes,
get
that
attached
too.
to it.
yeah, except for they all get attached to it.
Yes.
I think despite all that shit, I still, looking back at it, I still really enjoy that game. I think it's still one of my favorite ones of last year. But
I enjoy that they actually went ahead and made it. It was Sam that was Mads's
yeah,
BB.
yeah,
I
was
like
good.
that they actually did that because the whole time that me and Liz and Jess were playing this game, we were making like wild predictions, and that's kind of the only one that actually came true.
Yeah.
The game ended up, while still being crazy, was at the same time less crazy than we thought it was going to be.
I was gonna stop you for a second. If someone just happened to skip 10 minutes and this is like where the 10-minute mark is, and like it's the Sam thing you hear, is the like, oh fuck, we're so sorry.
We hope you were listening to dribble about choose your own adventure books before we got to
Anyway,
Death Stranding.
sorry.
I
I
also-
feel like that's the one thing that would suck to know about.
I
but-
will forever
because it's the only
enjoy.
interesting thing at the end.
Well, yeah. I'll
But they
forever
also
enjoy.
hammered into your fucking head because you see that sequence like 4
17
times over the
times.
course
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
4 times is not even an exaggeration.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's like
the
you see
actual
it
amount, but-
cryptically in all the visions, which it's not even that cryptic. Like from just those visions, you can piece the entire thing together.
They also
and then you
repeat-
see it like from Sam, and then you see it in like a whole other cutscene. It's too much. It's too much.
But they also repeat those every time you kind of leave the thing. You know?
I know.
that's
So
true. Yeah.
my thought was, if you want to do the full cutscene at the end to like show off all the acting and the scene structure and stuff proper, sure, fine. But then make the hints over the course of the game more cryptic, so it's more of a revelation at the end.
Just have Matt smoking a cigar and having it go super fast.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already smoking a cigarette in all of his fucking intros, which are great, by the way. Him laying down on the like webs of the.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So what were you trying to say, Gru?
Like the enjoyable thing is.
Sorry, I fucked up.
You can just pick one.
Yeah, but I forgot you introduced Yalinca. Dang, dude.
My name's also Guru, guys. My handle, I guess. Everyone, I feel like for the longest time was calling Norman Reedus, even though his name was Sam and Bridges and Strand and something else at some point.
Because the real people's names are better than the in-game character names.
Pretty much, but everyone calls him Sam now. But Mads is always Mads.
Yeah, because
or my
Cliff
version,
Unger
Daddy
is a weird name.
No one calls him Cliff Unger, except for the fact that he
is literally a cliff.
He's a cliff.
He's an obstacle.
He's a.
I'm glad that when
Unger? That sounds bad.
He's an Unger.
I'm getting eyesight stares. I'm being stared upon.
I'm glad that when that happened, the first thing I did was like dead-eyed turn to Riccio slowly and said, "Imagery." Because that's all it is. Yeah. Like everything, the bridges, the
it's imagery, but it's on the end of a hammer that you're being hit
pretty
with.
much.
Yes. Yeah.
I was just happy to take all that information.
I bet you
were.
What's the whose middle name is America?
Wasn't that the mum?
Yeah, maybe.
And technically Emily.
Emily, yeah. Which is also
the mom.
No, but also Emily is like a literal name as to the. It's so
Emily or whatever.
No
Emma means
it's
means soul or life or something.
Soul in French.
Okay, and then lies.
So
lies. It's lying soul.
And it's pretty good. Why did you have to go to like? What if someone was French and was just like, "Why is your name the Soul or whatever?" It's just like,
no, but it's too late. It's soul lie.
Yeah, but why call yourself that then? Call yourself fucking Kara. Call yourself Jane. Like, what? Don't leave breadcrumbs. What's happening?
Everyone's name is a breadcrumb. That's why. Because they go by their like weird nicknames.
Yeah, other than people whose names are Dead Man or Die
No,
Hard
but he
Man
was dead.
or...
Die Hardman was hard to kill. Every single one of them.
Man.
Yeah, Heartman. He had a heart attack every 22 minutes.
Can we? He has a heart. Everyone has a fucking heart. You shouldn't call yourself Heart Attack Man, okay?
Can we talk about Dead Man's crying scene? That shit was.
You mean Die Hardman?
Whatever, man. They all have so many same names.
The new president of the United States, Die Hardman.
That's pretty dope, dude.
I feel like that's the worst one because he's just like, oh yeah, because I didn't die every time we went on the mission. Then call yourself resilient. What the fuck? Die hard, man. You didn't.
That's true. Like
you didn't die at all. You didn't.
They went so far as to name a character Fragile.
But not that fragile, though.
But because she is fragile, technically.
Fragile, not that fragile. They have to say it different when you say that sentence.
Well, Joyce says fragile, and then she does at the not the
does
first
she say
time.
It different every time?
No. It's not every time. The first time she says like I'm fragile,
times.
Not fragile, and then after that they keep saying fragile.
Oh,
and then until Sam even says fragile as well as thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you got it. 2 minutes left on the clock.
They could have named him like resilient or something. You know, like
Die that would have been man.
Not gonna be president, can't be killed man. And then it's just the not
misdirection as bad guy man.
Cuck deaf hard man. Like
no, that's the wrong guy. That's the heart attack. He's
my
not
bad, sorry.
Trying to find his wife dead, come back man.
So there was a moment.
Yeah.
About 3/4 of the way through the story, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
where they're bringing in Mads' character again, and he's talking when they're all on the beach.
Yeah.
There and like Die Hardman's there and the president's there, or whatever. I had a moment where I thought, is Higgs in this game because they only had Mads for a day? And they want it because they start talking about like, oh, is he actually like the mastermind behind this whole thing because he wants revenge on America and stuff? I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense actually with how you're going for this plot, and that would be interesting. But then like he hasn't really done anything the whole game or really spoken to anyone. I like him better as that like
Higgs
that
or
ghost Cliff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I did like the boss fight with Higgs where the health bars came.
Yeah, the Higgs fight that was pretty. It made me want to play Fight Night Round, whatever 3 or again. Bring that back.
I'm just gonna say this. I understand why they had Mads for a day. He is Kojima's boyfriend. Also, he cannot be a bad guy. Therefore, he has to be daddy.
He's a bad guy in movies.
He's a hot daddy.
No, but not in this. He couldn't be the bad guy in this. He had to be almost the hero.
Sure.
So that's
why.
But
my point was that I thought that maybe they brought in Troy Baker to do like more mocap and fill in scenes because they couldn't get Mads back to do that stuff to play the Higgs role.
Yeah.
And maybe they wrote around it.
Let's just stop it for a second. Let's have people give a nice landing space for the 10.
I mean, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah? Okay. Then welcome back, everybody.
He dies. That's all. That's it.
That's not even what.
I mean, he does.
But then and then he comes back, and then he has to go find himself in the Strand.
Because he's a redistributable. What's it called?
Is the middle space called a Strand?
I can't remember.
Redistributable.
I can't remember, man. Every time he dies, you have to reinstall him with a new video game.
Sam's new middle name is C++.
Anyway,
what's the Steam one that always installs? Microsoft Visual Basic.
Yeah, Visual Basic Redistributable. That's
okay,
yeah.
What is
Veridist?
What is Pay Money Wubby's cat or dog's
Oh,
name?
I can't. HP
Pavilion.
Pavilion, like fucking printer.
Like numbers as well. It's just a printer name.
But
that is a fantastic name for a cat.
Yeah, I think his chat helped. I think name it or something. I don't know. Oh man, boy.
It's good because you could just call her Pavilion.
Hey, did
that
10-minute thing work, you guys?
Laser.
Did we do it? Did we nail it?
I mean, it worked if they actually kept listening and skipped ahead when we said to skip ahead.
Hey, remember when we talked last time about drive-by spoilers? I mean, if that ends up being a story for you guys, that's pretty cool, right?
Also, maybe the game doesn't suffer that much from you knowing the spoilers because I really enjoyed the delivering aspect of it. And having fun trucking packages around. And there's a part of me that wants to finish getting everyone to be at 5 stars, but they arbitrarily make some people way more difficult to level than others. So I also don't want to do that. I am interested, however. So I was playing on Jess's safe file because she wants a platinum. Yeah. Although Liz is probably going to get the platinum. Liz is probably getting the platinum right now as we speak. I am interested in doing like I mentioned this briefly earlier, doing like a mini speed run of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Where starting and like just skipping all cutscenes, ignoring all story. Just trying to find the best, quickest route to like get to credits, basically. Like because it's a game about routing through like harsh terrain and rough environments, like exactly what gear you need to like skip areas and also minimize the load that you're carrying.
Would you be allowed to be online for that, or do you have to be strictly offline?
I think that the online stuff wouldn't be consistent enough to help.
But right? would you like let that influence a speed run of that?
If I was like making the rules for a speed run, that would probably be like 2 different categories, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It would probably be like offline and online because online stuff, especially when you're like out of resources or like there's like cars lying around before you can build them, right? Like that totally changes.
I want there to
traversal.
Be 3 categories. One is like offline, one's online, and the other one is just online influenced, where like they're just like, yeah, no, we kind of changed the packets that are arriving or something. So he just walks out of like the main town and there's just ladders falling from the sky to just coat the environment. Like, yeah, we can get over everything.
I thought your third one was gonna be Stadia.
Third one, Stadia.
Survive.
It's pretty much just like the offline one.
But there's input lag.
Fucking survive.
It's not that bad. I played a Crucible match on Stadia. There's a Stadia. Here's the Stadia update.
And I mentioned this while you were playing it because I was watching. I said, normally watching you play Crucible on your live streams is a fantastic experience because you're very good at the game and very quick. And like, it's actually exhilarating to watch. Watching you play that match on the Stadia was the most sluggish I've ever seen anybody actually play Destiny.
I've never seen aim assist not be able to assist.
Listen, my Stadia update...
You put an entire Recluse clip into the aura around a person instead of them.
My Stadia update, okay, is that it's getting better. Okay, it's just not there yet on the Chromecast, okay? But we did get a match together, so that's positive.
We were surprised.
We had 11 other people to play a Crucible match. That's pretty good.
Wait, did it not do 12? I thought it did 12.
11 other people.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
I was included.
Yeah, you were right, yes.
I am still sure that at least half of those people are Stadia like reps playing the game.
It's like an alarm goes off at Bungie.
Yeah.
There's people in the queue. Get up!
Go!
Yeah, they have an alert for like you logged on and caused a fucking panic at their office, and they were like, but you were just sitting in space and click Crucible, and then you backed out, and they were like, oh wait, is he gone? Okay, do we have to? And then you came back in and changed character. Like, wait, Crucible, like it's doing the same thing. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, it's wild. Stadia's still pretty fun though. Hey man, they're.
You also had me try out Metro Exodus. Did that just come out for it?
So it didn't just come out; it was a launch game, but it's free for this month. Metro Exodus and Guilt are the new ones for this month.
Oh, do they do like PS Plus free game style stuff? Okay.
And if you are still subbed, you get to keep them.
Guilt
is the only exclusive.
Like games with gold or whatever,
and
where you
PlayStation
get to keep
Plus.
them past your. Well, PlayStation Plus you don't get to keep if your subscription runs out.
That's what I mean. It's like that.
Oh, okay.
You have to sub to keep them.
Okay.
But yeah, so Guilt is the neat thing is Guilt is a free game for February, and Guilt is the only exclusive.
Exclusive?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was the only thing I bought, but hey, man, it just means that when my sub runs out, I can play Guilt still. So because I bought it myself.
But you had me try Metro Exodus, and you mentioned that there's like input lag, even on the PC.
Or when I played it,
but on Stadia, it was a nightmare. You couldn't even. I was trying to shoot. You just couldn't.
I think the reason behind that is also because I think games that are 30 FPS have a little bit more inherent input lag. So to have that plus the input lag that's in it, then add Stadia on top is like a little bit of a. There's too many things combining there to that. Yeah.
I just enjoy that every time you spoke about, I think it was mainly when you were playing Metro today, when you were talking about it, it was always the phrase, "This isn't terrible," and it's like that shouldn't be the
baseline.
The only takeaway from it. Hey, but it was every time, and you said that as you handed me the controller let me feel it, and I went.
I feel like that's the biggest shock.
Went back and forth, and it literally took a beat for it to realize I had even input.
That was actually pretty funny to audibly hear the. And then have a second, afterwards. And then it happened. I was like, "Oh no, this is not a good start."
Even I said that's the difference between like being shot and not in the game. Like, no, I'm good.
The one thing I'm sad about for Stadia is that February, in the middle of it-ish, I think on the 20th or whatever, is going to be when technically everybody's pro runs out, the like paid subscription for free for buying into the thingy.
Yeah.
So are you interested to see an infographic about resubscribers or something?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna drop my sub. Obviously, because I'm not really using it. But if the March one comes around,
really the most vocal proponent of the Stadia architecture,
until it works on the Chromecast, like there's not much.
I feel like you should just stop it until it works good
on the Chromecast. It works fine on PC. Like okay, there's two things that could change my mind to keep it. One, they said in late March or something, 4K or so, like the high resolution in a browser is going to work. So if that works, fine. Then it becomes the way I can stream Stadia stuff if I want to, because it still runs fine on PC. Unless they introduce lag.
But here's my question. What does the pro subscription get you?
Just the free games a month pretty much, and to get to 4K or whatever.
Oh, you need it to have the 4K stream?
Yeah.
Oh.
So at least you're limited to 1080p.
So you're saying they're introducing a new pro feature the month that people would have to resub?
No, pros that's already like that now. There's like that's the thing is there's no way to not be pro right now. It'll just like there's no way to.
When is it actually launching for everybody?
Whenever pro ends, pretty much. I think is how it's gonna go.
So like next month?
Within this month, like in February, I think when pro ends, they'll kind of. I don't know, man. I think. Who knows? They're not really.
But if you let your subscription lapse and they don't launch the free version, can you still use it?
Yeah, I can still use it with the games I've purchased.
Okay.
Because I already have it. Like you can't sign up. The only way you can create an account is with an invite, and that's what's like stopping people from just signing up right now.
Do you think that this podcast is the foremost authority on Stadia?
No,
Do you
there's
think anybody else talks about it?
I think there's literally one called Stadia Cast. I mean, I still read the Stadia subreddit.
So we're the number 2. Then.
There's three that are at least on the Stadia subreddit that they link to.
Okay,
I don't
so
know
number 4.
Yeah, I listen to a podcast that also talks about it whenever there's news on it. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
I use the term news very loosely.
I feel like I'm still hoping for positive stuff on it, but I think what's hard is that
they came and said we talked about this a little earlier too. I didn't think we'd be talking about it on the podcast, but hey, there you go.
That's fine.
When they were asked if they had any more like games coming out on it, they kind of just typed a shrug emoji and then said like, if the publishers want to do it.
It's because they said there's 120. They dropped the number and then they're like, oh, but what are they? So they dropped the number and I think they said 10 of them are only going to be on Stadia. So people are like,
they have 10 exclusives.
I think so. And they're like, oh, so what? Give us some info. And it was like, oh, depends on the publisher. They gotta release the info. But I think what sucks is, other than that post, they don't talk about much of what they're upgrading or what they're working on. Like, they kind of do by saying like 4K on browsers and stuff, but if they're doing tweaks in the background to improve latency, or like they put out a firmware patch for the controller that nobody knows what the fuck it does, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's weird things that it, like, if they were just to shout info that sounds really technical, like, I'm not saying as if it's bullshit, but like if they just put out technical, just be like, dude, there's stuff being worked on. Like, I think that's, everybody's in a limbo that's like, you don't know,
right? Because the first and only controller firmware patch is just like could do nothing basically. Nobody has any fucking idea.
Yeah, some people think it's because they're about to allow that Stadia controller to work on a browser as well, because you can't do it unless you're plugged in. But maybe it'll work like it'll. I don't know.
It's weird that they wouldn't like inform people on that, because I feel like having transparency in any type of company is like a plus. Like, even if it's necessarily bad stuff, like, that's not bad to know what software does.
Okay,
like,
let me take a step back and say, at least this is through them posting stuff on their site. Apparently, they do actually do like some posts in their forums and on their Discord, which I don't go into. But if you're going that far where that's where you're finding the updates, that's really out there. You know what I mean? Unless you're like really deep into it. But maybe that's how it is right now, because it's a like invite only thing.
Do they have a Twitter or something that they
update
they have stuff?
Oh my god, that was the funniest shit. Like 2 weeks ago, people would post like, "Hey Stadia, when is this coming to Stadia?" And they like, people would post shit like Super Mario Sunshine or like God of War, and like the canned response was just like oh, Alexa's. I'm sorry. The canned response that they would post like, "Oh, we don't know when so and so is coming to Stadia. We'll keep you in touch when it does." And it's like,
oh, but it's a bunch of statements about like, we don't know when Super Mario Sunshine's coming, but we'll keep you posted. Yeah,
it was kind of funny, which I found pretty hilarious. But I think they started making, like, once it caught on that people were doing it a lot, they're like, "Oh fuck, okay, we gotta turn this into a joke or something." Like, but no, hey, I'll keep giving updates on it if I stay sub to keep messing with it. Like, I think it's still really cool to me, even though it is kind of not the greatest thing yet. But
what are you going to use it for besides playing on a TV that's 3 feet away from your computer?
Exclusives. I think that's my one thing that I want to hear. Like, Guilt is fine to play, but
what is Guilt?
It's like Alan Wake, but a little bit more kid friendly. Even though some people say later on it gets really spooky, but it's a kind of spooky, kind of Alan Wakey style game.
Like shining a flashlight and then
exactly. It's and you have a flare and stuff too.
Oh wow, okay.
It's from Tequila Works, who made a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember. I want to say like, oh boy, you know what? You just keep talking. I'm gonna oopsie daisy type of Reno here.
Are the exclusives like actual exclusives or like timed exclusives or both?
Guilt is staying exclusive.
Okay.
Oh, they made Rhyme, Deadlight. Oh boy. Sexy Brutal.
Sexy Brutal was good.
Sexy Brutal was fucking awesome. But
I remember really liking the music from that game.
Also Rhyme was really good. I should point out. Rhyme was fucking awesome.
That was one thing that we left out of our podcast last time, of like games. I know the podcast was long enough, so I didn't need to mention it. But
was Rhyme going to be somewhere on your list?
I didn't play it. And I feel like maybe if I took the time to, because there were collectibles and stuff, but it was a really good game.
Okay, so I got it free on PS Plus or something.
It's worth playing. It is worth playing.
So I did the whole first area and was really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I got to the second area, which is like a desert place, and there's like a big eagle or something.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That like will chase and grab you if you're like out in the open. And I've never enjoyed a game so much, and then seen a mechanic that's like, because it's just been kind of like wandering around doing whatever, and like at your own pace, solving puzzles and stuff. Get to that point where it's like, oh, here, now's the time mechanic, and I was like, I'm good.
I don't want this.
Yeah. I see exactly what this whole area is going to be about. I'm good forever.
I think
I'm fine.
I remember that, and I think there's a thing very short, like early into it, that kind of not nullifies it, but you don't have to worry about it as much. But also it's a type of game where,
well, that's nice to know, but also like,
yeah, but it's all the type of game where there's like multiple worlds where that mechanic is there and then you just never see it again type thing.
It's the puzzles in My Friend Pedro.
Oh my god,
my sure. Stop the momentum instantly. Just the fun stuff.
Now available on Game Pass if you want to try. If you want to try the first level Of Stadia.
Yeah, if you want to download it, play the first chapter of My Friend Pedro and then delete it and pretend like you played the whole game.
Like, I'm sure that wouldn't stop a lot of people. I'm sure that they actually continue playing it and be kind of okay, but I could see your side of just like, wow, I can't
really don't like the second half.
I mean, that's basically what happened to me with My Friend Pedro as well.
Yeah.
We were just sitting here playing. I was like, I'm ready to play this whole fucking game. This is rad. And then getting to like elevator shooting puzzles or whatever, and I was just like,
so that wasn't even that bad. That one you could actually still you could find a way to shoot things to keep moving forward at a really good pace. But later on, it kind of
you can't.
Yeah.
Unless you're really good or something, but it became too much.
I would also recommend downloading and playing the whole first chapter of Rhyme. That's Stan's recommendation of the month.
And the rest of it, if you don't mind the bird thing.
Yeah, if you have patience for that mechanic, then sure, have fun with the rest of the game, I guess. I don't know what it's like.
If you can get past that, that's almost not, I'm not going to say on par, but close to a journey or inside-ish
I want to say that
feeling.
Maybe you walk slower in the sand as well was a part of why I stopped. And previous to that, it's just like nice grass fields and like some like cobblestone and everything.
I want to say
I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
I want to say
just
I played
something about like dilapidated desert environment from like nice weird like Greek architecture and stuff. I was just like,
yeah.
I think the first time I played, I got up to that part and then I stopped, and then when I had loaded it up for no reason, like 2 months later, and I continued past that point, it was like, oh my god, I should have never stopped this type thing. Like,
okay, well, that was like 3 years ago that I played it.
So. I think I stopped around the same part.
I actually think you stopped before that and then went past it just in one go. But yeah, that I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other video games that like started like real good, and then just well, I feel like we talked about on the very first podcast that games don't know how to end.
Oh man.
Yeah, did we talk about that on the podcast, or were we just talking about that? Because I feel like that's been ongoing.
I feel like it was on a podcast. Maybe it was the last episode. I don't remember.
We probably mentioned it last episode during the like remnant talk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yes, probably.
But yeah, there's been a lot. I don't know if it's just we talked this year, but
Sly Cooper.
And Sly Cooper.
I just mentioned it because I remember that's one I always think of. The ending is so fucked anyway. I remember it distinctly because I think someone messaged me or DM'd me and was like, why are you talking shit about Sly Cooper? Like, what?
Please stop.
And it's just because of the ending?
Absolutely vile, yeah.
Absolutely vile.
Yeah, but...
1 second, let me see if I can find this.
But games that end terribly start good and then end not start good.
It's just that they have... It's stuff like that where... I know Giant Bomb did like a Playdate feature. They played Stranglehold.
Oh yeah.
Which reminded me sort of that idea where like this is really fun for 20 minutes, but there's a whole game here and it doesn't ever really change.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like we did a fun shooting thing, and then I don't like because in retrospect like Max Payne doesn't ever really change. Max Payne 3. And I feel like we enjoyed that game all the way through.
Yeah, that's just the same mechanics.
It had a defined ending too. I felt like it didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the story is in that game though.
People get kidnapped. Max got to save them.
Yeah, and then people keep dying around them.
Max fucking Payne.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the gameplay in that one, I don't think I would have liked it as much for sure. Because the story definitely didn't.
Story in games is story in like let's say published games is rough. There's a lot of indie stuff with like good little story things or even games that just have decided to be like, there's sort of a story like wrapping here, but like it's fine. We don't need to tell.
I'll tell you one. Kentucky Route Zero is some real story thing that I couldn't even possibly explain, but boy, did I love my journey through it.
Because you just played the whole thing over the last week, right?
Yeah, 1 episode a day to give me a little break between them, and went through all 5 acts every intermission, even the like hidden one that apparently existed, that I think was just added with this stuff too, but. That game's officially out on consoles now, which I don't know how it controls on consoles, but it's a point and click, so you probably just move the dude around and then hit
or you move cursor. Moving cursor is fine now, cursor, right?
Yeah. But
Destiny made that okay.
Man, Kentucky Route Zero is wild. That's a game that I still can't believe that came out in 2013 for the first episode, and then so much time in between each one. Like, the final episode just dropped now in 2020, which is fucking wild. And going through each one of those and seeing... It improves over time, but it doesn't change. Like it, But I don't know. It's crazy. That game is interesting. If you like story games and you love good writing ish, I guess if that's what you want to call it, like that, the game's a WoW game. Kentucky Route Zero. That's some guys keep saying the name because apparently.
How long was each episode?
I think the first 3 were about an hour and a half. I think the 4th one was a bit longer.
Did you do a bunch of that like wandering and stuff?
The other ones didn't have as much of it. The first 2 episodes had a bit more of it. I think there might have been ways to do it in 3 and 4, but I kind of. It's very weird to move in those next episodes, so I tried to do as much side stuff as possible.
Man, what's
yeah?
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
Maybe don't say why because it just came out.
Yeah, so. But it's I very much recommend picking that up. Even if it's like on a Switch, or there's no, you don't have to worry about like frame rate or something. On Switch, yeah. But I mean, like if you're worried about frame rate or any of that, like that's not the type of game. Just pick it up.
That game's basically still images.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it looks, God, does it look good too.
Are they the people who made Oxenfree or no?
No. Night Dive.
That's the only other game that it reminds me of, and yet it's still very different tonally.
Walking and talking.
Yeah, but.
Oxenfree was good.
I really want to play After Party, which is their next game. Yeah. I have it. I just haven't had the chance to play it.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Was it last month?
It's actually also in, I think, Game Pass, which I think you can use since our weird little configuration thing. But yeah.
Well, if you're gonna stream it soon, I'll just watch you play it. But
yeah. Dude, there's so many wild story games that I want to go through soon. Like, there's.
Remember when we randomly booted up Thief of Thieves
to
equal out your gamer score?
And now I want to play the rest of it because Thief of Thieves looked awesome.
Just play it on PC or something instead, so it doesn't mess up here. It doesn't take away your round number again.
But there's so many wild games like that I want to play on stream. But it's so, I feel like streaming story games like that is tough. Like for me, streaming Kentucky Route Zero, there's no voice acting. The
spoilers for Kentucky Route Zero. Hope you skipped ahead 14 seconds.
There's songs.
People might fucking speak, dude.
There's songs that you listen to. That's all it is. Anyway, if people are tuning in to like watch me play that, it's like you better enjoy my voice because you're gonna hear it for 6 hours, like reading off every little thing that's on screen, and I can't read that good all the time.
That makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
that's a feature, not a bug.
So like there's games that came out like there's one that's another kind of point and clicky type thing called.
I'm sure Yalinca is thinking of something you said specifically.
Definitely. Oh, don't forgetty.
Oh, never forgetty.
Never forgetty.
There's exclamation point, but I don't know. Apparently I'm dyslexic or something.
Worlds. That wasn't even in.
Oh, that was Outer Worlds. Yeah, that wasn't even.
I mean, you could exclamation points is.
Yeah, never forgetty.
I mean, it's an upside down eye, but you thought it was
but
an eye.
Yeah. Anyway, I was tired.
I believe it.
I had just finished a night of Kentucky Route Zero reading, so my reading was not good. But there's like a game called Eliza, which is kind of like a point and clicky thing where you're going through and you're like it's like an AI that's a psychiatrist type weird thing. Anyway, point is, it's just a point and click game that has voice acting, and I feel like that's an easier thing to go through compared to sitting there and reading. Like, dudes, I swear the story's good, but it's gonna be 8 hours of me reading to you guys, so I'm gonna fuck up every good part of this.
Audiobooks are a thing.
Yeah, but those are read by people.
Podcasts are a thing.
Yeah. When I'm reading off characters and stuff, like I don't know if you guys do ever read out loud for some weird reason. I realize that other than if I didn't stream, I would never read things out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's weird to try to read stuff out loud. Like in your head, you can hear like not the intonation, but you can hear. Like you're hearing how the character's talking, kind of, if that makes sense. But then when you're reading out loud, you're kind of trying to match that, and then you're reading something super chipper, and then it's just like, and then my mom died. It's like, oh no, this was a sad. Oh no, oh no.
I have completely destroyed the context of this scene.
So it's yeah.
Well, it's like in Kentucky where it's just like there's a point where
I can just say in Kentucky.
I don't want to say the whole thing. Route Zero. The actual text starts to like slow to a crawl almost, and people are saying things but in like dialogue boxes that only allow like 3.
So one of the interludes is people talking. So the entire rest of the game, you click. It's like a big no.
Okay, all right.
It's a big dialogue box, and you're clicking like, and it scrolls. It shows the whole page of it, so you can read through it yourself, and then you click to go next. In this interlude, the dialogue box fits maybe 6 words, and it's you just listening or watching conversations in a bar. So they're just going, but it's people. We were laughing because it reminded us of the character from Malcolm in the Middle, because they're just like, and that's how. And then it takes a few seconds. I got over to, and it takes a few seconds. My car. And then like nobody's talking for a second. Evelyn, don't say that again. And it's like, oh my god, is it the kid from Malcolm in the Middle who like
it's in the wheelchair that has asthma?
Like, oh boy. It was just once we noticed that, the whole scene was fucking ruined because you're just like, oh man. Now we're just laughing at this shit.
Like time to read.
Yeah. But anyway, it was funny. Yeah, I can't think of any other reason why I would randomly start reading out loud. I feel like once you're in school, you're sometimes in front of the class, like read this paragraph. But after that,
as the resident owner of board games,
our
friend group,
okay.
I do read out of.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a DM.
I'd call you a DM.
I don't make scenarios.
You're my dungeon master.
Okay.
Okay. That and
I
memes.
do read out of board game manuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
what did you say?
memes.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
memes would be quick
those
things, I think.
True, but I mean that's the main reason nowadays for. I hate that. I hate that I don't read books. I hate that it's always to read memes out loud. That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't read just a book out loud.
I have.
Dude, it is wild. It is wild to read a lot of text nowadays. Like if you were like, I know you can read like a manual. Manuals are a lot.
I read books still.
No, but I mean if out loud. I mean out loud.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying.
You skipped out loud when you said your sentence there at first. So I was like,
yeah. But I mean, when you're reading the ingredients of a board game, add a pinch of dice. No. If oh fuck man,
cooking with board games.
If you're reading the rules of board game, like that actually makes sense. You read out loud, but like when there's a shit ton of like, say you're playing Outer Worlds or something with Outer Wilds. Let's say both of those games. If you walk up and there's just a wall of text. If you're playing, you're just sitting there, you'll read through it, you hit A, like you're kind of like going through it really quick. But it's weird to sit there and then read that chunk out loud. Like there's a weird thing to that. Also, I guess I hate sometimes hearing my own voice when you're doing that because it's just, I feel like I'm worried more about how I'm saying it and I'm not taking the information in sometimes. And it's, anyway, there's reading shit out loud sometimes is really weird. Maybe it's a weird thing in my head, but I feel like it takes more effort.
Formulate sentences in your head or is it just like scattered
What do you mean? Like if I think of stuff?
Yeah, when you think of stuff, is it an incomplete sentence?
Yeah, I can think of
okay.
Yeah. It's just
it's
like,
a valid question.
No, it's, you know he was like, no, yeah, I can think of stuff. Like, yeah, no.
I think of things all the time, dude. But
some people just think in just scattered words that they
pictures,
then formulate and exactly.
I think now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm realizing that I don't necessarily think it's me reading out loud that fucks it. I think it's streaming. Because you're reading out loud, you've got like this chat that might be scrolling or like something else in my mind. Like I'm paying attention to like the OBS preview. Like it's not like I'm just reading a book.
You're trying to voice.
You're trying to voice. It's not like you're reading like a manual or like a thing or like I'm trying to figure out how to fix my computer and I'm reading something out loud. Like you know what I mean? Like that you're just focused. If anything, it's more than maybe it's just a lot of stuff together with that.
That is legit why I didn't read any of the like lore in Bloodstained.
Oh man.
Because I feel like I'm a semi-strong reader, even though over the years like I've had more moments of just like on words.
So look, to jump to your defense here, even though you might not need it.
Yeah.
The lore in Bloodstained, you're talking about the little books that open on the bookshelves. Yeah. They're like justified with like 3 words per line, and it just makes my eyes blur over. So I don't read them either.
But while you're casting, it's like, it's not that I'm speech jamming myself because I don't even think I could like hear myself.
Oh yeah.
But it's like having text, knowing the chat's there and I might be missing someone. And also I just don't want to fucking do it. I just want to get back to the game. I don't want to do that.
I gotta mention how normal it is to me now, and maybe people don't realize it, but every time I'm doing streams or all that stuff, or even what we're doing right now, like we're shoving our own voices into our own headphones on our head.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing to hear live.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
you get used to it over time. But
I mean, I don't really pay attention to it until you bring it up. Just like then.
But like if I'm streaming, I'm trying to. That's another thing. Like, I'm trying to audio balance to make sure. Like I'm always very aware if a game gets way louder. If a game gets way louder, then I'm always aware of that stuff. Yeah. But it's weird to have your own voice in your head because you already hear your voice so loud, and then to have it on top of the inside of your skull sound is a weird.
I feel like
it's coming from the inside and the outside.
Yeah, like,
that literally is the perfect like way to describe it. It's not like I'm speech jamming or it's on a delay. It's like I'm hearing it's like my ears are slightly blocked, yet somehow it's clearer.
Yeah,
it's a very weird but good
dude
feeling
whenever
somehow.
I get sick and one of my ears fucking blocks out and then I can hear my own voice in my head and then my headphones are on and I'm only hearing it on like the right side and I just get like my whole brain fucking can't handle it. It's such a weird.
Did you ever get like specific tinnitus treatments or anything?
No,
or you just live with it.
I just live with it.
He hasn't been to the doctor since birth, so don't laugh. It's true.
It's only been like 6 years. No, I don't think it's been 6, but it's been a lot. But anyway, unrelated. Yeah, it's weird hearing your own voice really loud in your head.
Yeah,
but it's something I got used to, I guess, because yeah, I don't know. It's
my voice sounds good, so I like hearing it.
Wish could say the same. Me.
I somewhat hate my voice.
No.
I'm British. You can't.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me as well.
I know the British side of it is probably enjoyable to some people, but I don't hear that because it's me.
Right. It's we have accents.
Yes.
You don't. Yes.
But to me, it's just like I sound nasally and I sound, and that's it.
Is it weird that whenever I hear the word British, every single time, and I don't know why, I go back to on the N64 at 1080 snowboarding, and I think there was a guy called Charlie you could choose something, and he'd always go, "Cheerio, jolly dude," or something, and that's the fucking sound clip that echoes very clear into my fucking head.
Cheerio, jolly dude.
Yeah, like I'm no word of a lie. If I can find a cheerio, jolly dude, I'm just gonna see if I can.
The most British and non-sentence I've ever. No one says dude. I say dude now because of
there's somebody doing a fucking let's play. I'm not gonna actually do it, but no, I think it's either that or like Cool Borders or some shit. But I think that's a PlayStation game. I'm thinking of an N64 one, but I'm pretty sure it's 1080 snowboarding. And somebody says cheerio, jolly dude. I think,
and that's every time you hear anything British.
Like if somebody had to say like
through your head,
or if somebody were to say like do an accent, or like I'm trying to think of something that would be something about British accents.
Yeah,
that's the sentence, and the sound clip is like weirdly just in my head of some distorted fucking game that barely has sound.
An N64 sound chip.
So
like that sounds like he's muffled in like in some sort of S&M thing.
Yet
but
you do the throw another shrimp on the Barbie instead.
Well, that's a joke.
Okay, all right.
Also, please, that's Australia.
Thanks.
Oh man, yeah. But
what are our accents sound like to you then?
You all just kind of sound American.
Except for when I'm watching Dragon's Den, apparently.
Well, yeah, he was watching Canadian Dragon's Den, and he became more Canadian somehow. Like she, one of the female dragons was saying like about and what she actually said a word.
I can't remember.
Damn it. I probably shouldn't do that. It's fuck. I can't even remember what she said, but she said something really Canadian, and then he spoke to me, and he sounded more French Canadian than he ever has.
It probably happens, yeah.
Like, right now, he's normal. And when he said something, he was like, oh, yeah, he's going down to the... I sound Irish now.
Yeah, remember...
He goes down to the curb. To the curb.
I remember specifically saying exactly that.
Oh, yes. He goes down to the curb.
Going to get my loonies.
Oh, I.
This is not Canadian at all. In the fucking worst. Oh man, holy shit.
I really like how he did like a perfect accent there, but never can on command.
If you ask him to do it now, he won't be able to do it.
Chipper me giblish.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chipper me giblish?
I don't know, dude. Cheerio, jolly dude. Oh man, yeah, that's the shit.
Just the real highest form of comedy right here on the Super Ultimate Podcast. Hey, you get what you pay for.
Nothing, so you get nothing.
Yeah, whatever you guys are willing to pay. No.
Oh my god.
I've never heard you do a good impression before. That was wild.
Now it's recorded. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that it is.
When he actually goes into his French Canadian or Canadian accent, like, it's really good. He just hardly does it.
I can't.
I'm told if I can't really speak Spanish, but I'm told that when I say Spanish words, I have a very Spanish accent. That makes sense because half my family's from Spanish country. But what?
Gato.
Don't look at me when you say cat. Just stop.
Yeah. You got the words on
Is that
lock.
French for cat?
No,
No.
it's Spanish.
Spanish for cat? Okay.
So. Hey, from what I'm told, it is. Yeah.
I can't speak other
You
language
said
as well.
cat was shot?
Show.
Shot?
Shot?
And
Okay,
kitten-
actually, I did know
Chaton.
that. I don't know
Chaton?
why.
Chaton
yeah.
was kitten.
Yeah, okay. Languages.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Someone shouting that cat.
No, that's a cat on a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Mm.
Don't
Yeah,
shout.
you know.
Don't shout on cats.
Feed the cat to the cat.
Hey man, sometimes people say words and they don't mean to, and then people make quote lists on their broadcast, and then you can't ever go away from them.
No offense, that cat's kind of shat on us.
I don't know if
Why
I
would
like.
there be an offense to that? You
There
said,
shouldn't be.
well, yeah, but you said no.
Exactly. I just said because there shouldn't be. I said I wasn't being racist.
You know what? You know what's really crazy is here. I'm gonna try to bring it up. I don't know why I'm bringing up so much stuff on this.
That's a
this
vine,
time.
by the way, so people know that I'm actually saying something that's not crazy.
So, if you
A
watch
vine or a bite?
oh,
Vine.
dude, can we talk about how Bites back?
No, do what you're doing.
Okay,
Kenny
well,
bites back.
Yeah, exactly.
it bites back, dude.
I knew he was gonna say it. I hate him.
Vine 2.0 or Bite came out, and it's really sick. It feels so homey to like go back to that, and the 6-second loops are just perfect. It's either that wasn't so great, but whatever, it's already gone, and you just like you know what I mean, like it's
Already moved on with my life. What are you trying to open?
So what I want to say is, whenever I'm streaming, I say lots of dumb stuff. Sometimes don't know.
Oh, this is your whole quote list.
So here's the weird thing: is wheeled? Nah, that's weird because that's not how you say weird though. But I said wheeled because maybe that's what I wanted to change it to. So here's the wheeled thing. I'm just gonna keep with it because it makes more sense, and I have to stick with it because you got to do it. I have quotes where there's a bot and whatever. I say something stupid accidentally, don't know why it happened. Sometimes it's not me. You guys make up a bunch of stuff, 99% fake. Anyway. There's a quote list on the stream, and then I was going through a bunch of stuff on my.
You're gonna call bullshit
Yeah,
that
I
you
know.
said wheeled in relation to something
God
like a
damn
week
it.
from now.
I'm gonna go onto my stream and I'll hit like the latest quote, and it's gonna be wheeled. Anyway, I found the list that I had from a long time ago, where people had to go to a friggin' Google Doc and type it in manually.
Oh, this is a different list.
And I found some wild ones from 2014 and stuff that. The numbers of this, there are hundreds, and
oh my god,
there are very.
That's row 400 something.
Yeah, you know what? Do you want to do a wild thing? If you want to give me a number between 1 and 463, if you each want to pick one here.
How many quotes do you have on your channel?
I think I'm like
thousands.
Are we at 1,000?
I think we're in 1,000.
Dude, I don't know. Man.
Oh wow,
There's a lot.
I didn't think it was that high.
Some of them are doubles or whatever, but
327.
327. That is an excellent number, Dan. If I had to say a number that was being chosen by you, I would say yes. Oh fuck.
You don't have to read it if it's bad.
Are you sure? Okay, so it says 2015. This is April 27th. I was playing a video game called Ico. Very lovely game.
Is it Ico or is it Eco?
I don't
thought
know.
It was Eco.
Let's just say
Both.
Ico. So I seem like I'm
both.
I think
not.
even the creator said it was both.
Oh
Oh
man.
really?
Don't give a fuck.
You know what? I shouldn't have said that intro because apparently it's me being angry at the game, saying it's like they made you control it with a bag of dildos violently thrusting at you all the time. So there's a weird amount of stuff that I was scrolling through this, and it's wild. Some of the stuff that I'm like, I didn't say that.
I don't get a number.
Yeah, I was saying you
Yes,
pick one
please.
too. Yeah, what's your number?
289.
289. That's
Yes, please.
also a very lovely number. I would almost say that it's right here. This one's. I don't even know why this one makes sense. It just says from March 13th, 2015, playing Ori and the Blind Forest. That's a long time ago, by the way. Ori is. I don't know how I didn't say Ori in any of our stuff, but anyway. Well, that was hella cool. Sweet. Don't know why it was. It was the Wild West, man. You can submit whatever you wanted to.
I want to change.
You want to change it? Dude, I don't know.
133.
Oh gosh, now I'm just gonna read things off this dumb list. Anyways, the point is that I saw this a while ago, and oh god, okay, it's on my birthday, 2014. It's a quote from Cyronix while playing GTA 5 online, and he says Riccio has a very fappable face. So the quote list is gone now, deleted forever. No more references to it ever again. And
You could have a podcast legitly just on that.
I don't want to.
You don't want to.
Isn't
Okay.
it wild how you can say really weird things? Like, for example, when we're playing Overcooked and violent words come out of my mouth.
I still don't know if that was towards Dan or the game.
I think it was definitely towards the game.
Yeah, because it was you fell in the water.
Yeah, falling between the little ice things into the water where our food was ruined.
Okay.
Absolutely ruined.
I really want to play Overcooked 2 more. I feel like we had such a time, or at least I had such a time with that first game because I played it all the way through with you. I played it all through the way with Stuart.
It was local
I played
as
it all
well.
through the way with Jess.
Yeah.
Like I played that game all the way through several times and like feel like I saw everything in that game and like I 3-starred it multiple times. And then the second one came out and I feel like we had a really good time for like a week. And then we all just stopped playing it.
Mm-hmm.
We played it with us
Addy.
two and Atty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there were moments in that game where he thought I was angry at him.
It's that wild thing where when you're in the same room, you're yelling and then you're kind of like, haha.
Yeah. But over voice chat, it's like
they don't see the y'all don't see it either in the audio version, but you don't see the smirk or whatever. That's like, or the or how goofy you look while you're yelling and you're just like throwing a sushi off the edge or something. Like, so you can toss stuff into.
Atty, sorry to call you out.
Yeah, Addy again, third time, dude.
I keep saying it. This is like fifth. What are you talking about?
Addy's the official guest on the podcast without actually being you.
So I bring up Overcooked 2 because they like even just put out another free update with like a free campaign in it.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and there's been 4 campaign DLCs or something, and one of them's like a premium price one that has like a horde mode or something in it. Like that sounds nuts, the stuff they're adding to that game, and I haven't seen any of it.
Sounds like that game's been in the oven for a while. It's probably overcooked too.
All right, everyone, thanks for listening to
This is our last podcast.
Sorry, Addy, we had to do it to you. Forever associated with the death of Sup. Oh
Why
man,
are you allowed to say it?
Yeah,
I don't know. You said it the first episode. We had to. It's a terrible.
You cut out my second one because I wasn't allowed, and then he's good.
No, I cut it out. I cut it out because you were too far from the mic.
Been working on this for months, and he just said it out.
I don't know if I just squeaked or not. I couldn't.
Yeah, I think so. I heard. I had an audible squanch happening.
Couldn't hold it. Scrouch.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Can I just talk?
If anyone hasn't noticed, the acronym for our podcast, Super Ultimate Podcast, is SUP, which we thought it was funny to make something that was acronym to Sup. And we said before we started the very first episode that we would never fucking say it, so it was just a fun little Easter egg thing. But now 2 of the 3 people have said it, so I'm over explaining it. This is the curse you've brought down upon the podcast now. Everyone has to know.
Hey Dan.
Yeah.
It smells like Updog in here.
Clean your fucking trash. What's wrong with you?
Take the garbage out.
Eat your peas.
God damn it. Oh boy.
So anyways, today we're talking about our game of all time.
Do we still want to do that?
I don't know.
I feel like we should just go on with the way we're going on because at this point, like,
Yeah, you know what? It's
all right. We're gonna talk about something hella topical.
Did we talk about Borderlands 3?
Yeah, we talked. We don't even need to because
didn't we shit talk it on the last podcast?
Sure.
I feel like a little bit, but I don't know if we
said the shooting was better and that the story was better,
which is literally all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot that needs to be said about that game, but I'll leave it.
Yeah. Something topical and hot.
Okay, you have a hot take?
I have a hot take.
Okay.
Spoilers, you guys,
for
a recent trailer that has come out for the 9th film in a series of movies.
Is it
Jedi Skywalker Furious 9? No, Fast and the Furious 9. Is it actually just called Fast 9?
No, it's called The Fast Saga.
Oh,
Ew.
Where's the 9?
There is none. Unless there is, and they just hit it somewhere.
What do you mean? They don't need numbers anymore.
Oh.
They're just making names.
Oh. Well.
Wasn't 8 called The Fate of the Furious?
Yeah.
But
so,
F8 of the Furious.
Maybe if you're...
That was the official name. I don't know why you're...
Yeah.
Did you not?
I thought it was actually Fate. I don't read that.
If you read out loud, it's really tough. Actually, if you read out loud, you probably would have heard it.
Yalinca's having an aneurysm right now over the fucking title of Fast and Furious movie.
Maybe if you rearrange the letters, in Saga. No, not in the word Saga. Whatever, man. You get 9. Wait, the Furious Saga? Is there 9 letters?
The Fast Saga.
The Fast Saga. Is that 9 letters?
What are you counting? The Fast Saga. What? Was that syllables?
Fast Saga is 8.
It's 11.
The is 3, but 3 is really just 2 and 1, but you don't need the 2. So you got 1 and 6.
You also didn't do 2.
Wait, no, hold on. No, hold on. Did I mention that whenever I'm trying to read and talk out loud? I'm reading off the script right now, and I didn't.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
kind of, not really.
No.
It's pretty cool.
So what were you going to bring up about the Fast Saga?
Man, skip 15 seconds ahead if you don't want to get spoiled on this hot new trailer drop.
Han lives.
Han's motherfucking back, dude.
With no explanation.
With no explanation.
He's
he also
just alive.
He was all in one piece, didn't look like a robot or anything.
He should be a robot.
Yeah.
There's robot tech in that universe.
Is that
he
why
should have been one.
they never fully hated Jason Statham because they didn't actually...
But did they? Because he's not in this movie.
He's in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
The two people that Vin Diesel had
Despite-
disagreements with are in a spin-off franchise.
Though, especially the weird part is that the two characters from Hobbs and Shaw are in this movie.
Which ones?
The mom and the sister.
The mom was from
Yeah, I know, but like
7 or
they
8?
seem to be back as if Hobbs and Shaw
Wait, the
happened.
sister's in?
I thought she was in the trailer.
Racism.
I don't...
You saw a white lady with blonde hair and you
No,
thought...
a white lady who was British with blonde hair. I don't know. I have no idea. I think they're British. I don't know.
I don't remember seeing her.
Okay,
in the trailer.
maybe you know what?
The
Maybe
dude from
I
3,
lied.
The dude from 3 is in the trailer. What's his name? Sean?
Ludicrous?
3. Tokyo Drift.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's in there for like 6 frames when they're talking about the thing on top of the car.
oh,
The rocket. Yeah.
The guy who was supposed to be a high schooler but looked like he was
Yeah.
50?
dude,
Yeah.
how
Good,
wild
nice,
are those
great,
movies, though? How wild are Fast and Furious movies?
I think that they're really fantastic watch to watch 7 of them, and then you can watch Hobbs and Shaw if you want. And
Hobbs
just
and Shaw?
Don't correct him. He said what he said. Continue, Dan.
I read something about dildos earlier, so I'm going to correct you
I
on
think
Saw.
8 is bad, and 9 will probably also be bad.
We saw 8 in D-Box,
Is
and
8
that was amazing.
Is 8 the one with the ice shit that's going
Yes.
on? Dude, I don't remember most of that movie.
We saw it in
That's
D-Box.
because it's not great.
Okay.
That was the most genuine...
Wait, is 8 the one where all the cars are AI and they start
Yeah.
playing? Oh, boy,
Oh,
yeah.
what? So you remember it, is
remember
what I'm
that.
getting.
I remember it now.
So now it's good.
I wasn't sure if that was Spider-Man. For all I know, that was Far From Home. Hey, man, have I mentioned to you guys that my memory is not so bueno? Oh, gosh. Gosh dang.
It makes me sad that we were supposed to do a Star Wars review episode, but we didn't get this podcast together in time to do one. Because I would have liked to hear what you thought about like what happened in all the Star Wars movies. But
And now it's all gone.
You know what?
Now they don't matter anymore because Rise of Skywalker ruined the whole franchise. But hey,
So Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna say that I think.
spoilers for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I remember. No, I just remember being.
Well, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so I remember being tired, and I think I might have blacked out a little bit.
You didn't fall asleep. Straight up blacked out.
No, hold on.
That's the best compliment I've heard about this movie.
So when
Is that it just straight up knocks you unconscious for a little bit of it.
there's a certain I feel really bad saying this.
No, we're spoilers. Skip ahead to the rest of the podcast.
Just, guys, leave.
My
Just
microphone
fucking
wildly
leave,
fell.
okay?
No.
Thanks for listening. If you haven't seen the Star Wars Skywalker Rise yet, then
Are we going
come back
high?
later. Oh, I have things to say about Star Wars. I've been
Same.
holding back for months. What were you gonna say?
So when there's a certain part in the movie where there's
When you blacked out?
yeah, no. So before this,
Uh,
there's a man in a seat. There was a lot of lightning going on between characters, and I remember blacking out and waking up to someone dying.
are you sure you didn't just have a seizure?
Which, to my realization
So you're
now,
saying
is a very critical part of that movie.
When Palpatine shot his dubstep laser up in the sky, you had a
Yes.
seizure and blacked out?
Somebody was talking to me and they're like, I think does his face fucking explode or some shit?
His whole everything explodes.
I don't even know.
He
I
shoots,
literally-
he shoots the lasers up in the sky and disables every spacecraft.
What?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know how
And then Rey walks towards him with one lightsaber, which isn't stopping the lightning enough, but then she puts a second lightsaber up, and that deflects the lightning properly, and then he screams and explodes.
So I remember them getting into that
fucking stupid.
Hole?
Sorry.
The hole?
Are they in a hole?
I mean,
yeah, they're at like the bottom of the planet or whatever.
Planet, yes.
There's an elevator
Exegol,
that needs
the
to
Sith
go
planet,
down. Yeah.
Where Emperor Palpatine over the last 30 years built 44 million Star Destroyers.
Wait, but... Okay, I don't remember what that planet
He's
is.
underground.
Kylo had to,
Exegol.
like-
The Sith planet that they had to find the fucking holocron
Kylo
wayfinder.
parkoured his way down, but the elevator worked for Ren.
Did I black out the whole
Rey?
movie?
Ray,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
what the fuck did I say?
Ren.
Kylo
It's
Ren.
not... yeah.
Ray.
Is that the place where there's the crashed ship?
Which... What? No.
Okay. I might... Okay. Okay. Point is, they get into
We get the episode after all.
So I remember that they find their way into a cave where the man's chair is.
You always say cave. Don't say
I
cave.
don't know. In
It's
my mind, it was
almost-
a cave.
It's
No,
almost
it
a
is.
temple.
He is
But,
right.
like,
it's an underground, hollowed out area.
Fine, but a cave implies that there's like.
Okay, let me be real here.
Continue.
It's impossible to know the architecture of that area. It's just one set with an elevator and columns, another set with a jar full of Snokes, and then another set with a big spiky chair.
So I want to
and
explain.
then a stadium around it.
I may have been saying cave incorrectly. What I thought is, let's just compare it to a gigantic pothole in the ground. Is what
Okay.
I thought it was just a planet.
So when he shoots his dubstep laser up in the, he opens the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just open.
He
I
mean,
does
So
that.
I've never seen that with my eyes. So what I remember is that there was her walking up to him,
Yeah.
and then which is
Sorry.
very
Who?
Ren.
Ray
Ren?
Palpatine? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So anyway, she's walking up, and I remember losing consciousness and waking up to her hugging Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure I should know what's happening right now. And
That
then he
is
vanished.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
So all I'm
You
getting is that.
you actually had a near-death experience at Rise of Skywalker.
Because I remember texting you after, I'm like, yeah, man, the movie was pretty okay. Like,
No, you missed Palpatine actually shooting dubstep and stopping spaceships with it.
So what I'm getting is that you went to see Star Wars with me. The moment
It
that
was like a
people are
midnight
dying on
showing.
screen, what I didn't realize is that you were also checking out, and I noticed not at all. You were just gone for a good
There's
maybe
like
20
people
minutes.
die up in space after that,
Is there
and then
important
and then
people?
there's more ships come in to like save them.
other important people dying?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Like some side characters, like the Greg Grunberg guy, Snap Wexley.
Who's that?
The he was in Force Awakens as well.
Was
He's
he in
kind of the main
Heroes?
pilot. In Heroes?
You know, I thought it was like the bigger guy from Heroes.
Yes, that guy.
Him?
Yeah.
He died!
I love that we were talking about the same person.
I fucking... Listen, don't go to midnight showings and have an entire work day before
Yeah.
it.
It wasn't. Oh, you went in like a
Thursday.
It
was a
something.
Thursday or
Oh,
something, yeah.
Boy.
Boy,
You know what?
I had to have somebody...
Blacking out at the end of that movie is
Probably
a
the
better
best, yeah.
experience
So
than
I was-
seeing what the fuck happened.
I was at work, and where I work, there's like a service desk really close. People kind of talk loudly enough that I
Yeah.
can hear it. And I remember them describing that. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, that's
So
just...
wait, you were spoiled in this?
No,
Or
afterwards. And I was
Okay.
like, I don't know any of this
I
shit.
saw the movie. Like,
Yeah,
what?
like no one's fucking face exploded. Like, what the fuck is like what is happening? And then it was until like I kind of read up. I was like,
So you also missed that Rey died after she deflected the lightning for some reason, and then Ben Kylo Ren climbed out of the big pit that he got thrown into, which happened. Yeah, he came in, and you know all his friends also wearing the dark armor. He's fucking murders them all.
darker. Okay, I don't.
The Knights of Ren. He
I think it was
kills them
too-
all.
You know what? It
He
was.
fucking
I
murders
think
them
it was
all.
too fucking late.
He does like a half-assed Han Solo shrug, and then he kills them all. And then he shows up, and he's like, "All right, we're here to fight Palpatine together." And Palpatine just like flicks him off a fucking cliff, and he goes flying into a cliff, and you think he's dead. And then the whole Rey thing with the
Oh,
lightning
I
happens.
remember them fighting at the same time, and he takes the lightsaber from her.
Yes, yeah, and then he kills all his
Okay,
friends.
I remember that, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
then I woke up and he was evaporated.
Yeah.
yeah. So then he climbs out of the ground.
Okay.
Because earlier, you remember when he got stabbed, and then Rey
Yeah.
healed his wound, and then he's alive again, and then he's not Kylo Ren anymore. He's been so that whole fucking thing. You remember earlier when she healed him?
And then his dad appears, and it's like, okay, I know what I have to do, but I'm scared.
It's
like,
the same
yeah.
dialogue from Force Awakens. Okay, anyways, she healed him earlier. Do you remember that?
Remember when they were going into the crashed? Was that a Death Star?
Yes, it was the second Death Star.
And it was
on
in the
moon
water,
of Endor.
and it was again just freaking John Boyega fucking shouting
Ray!
Ren Padawan to come back, and she doesn't, and it's just like
Ren Padawan,
this is
come
my
back!
whole fucking role in this movie to shout this
Wasted.
stupid teen girl to come back.
Do you remember that Rey had force healing powers and could just bring people back from the dead?
Remember
when
this? She healed that snake in the cave.
She fucking killed Kylo Ren. Do you remember this?
What?
She stabbed him
in this movie.
In this movie.
In this movie.
In this movie, she stabbed him through his chest with a fucking lightsaber.
She healed the snake in the cave. The snake was like,
oh yes, the big snake.
Okay, so later on, after they showed that off for no reason, then she uses that healing power again to save Kylo after she kills him.
She kills him. When does she? Why?
She's
on the wreckage of the Death Star.
Yeah,
Did I see this fucking movie?
Yes, they have a very
flaccid
fight.
After Rey just decides to fall over and die after killing Palpatine, and all the ships are active again because he's not shooting lightning and they're actually destroying all the Star Destroyers, and then Ben climbs out of the pit, and then he picks her up and he's like, "Oh man, you're dead." Then he uses his life force to bring her back alive, and he falls over and dies. But first, they kiss, and it's bad. Our theater groaned when they kissed.
Really?
Yeah.
There was like no reaction in ours at all.
I think I know
kind of just
about
looked
the kiss.
at it and was like, okay. There's a lot of people that are angry.
I think because it's not.
it's
it's not earned. It should have been like they had like a bond, almost like a friendship bond. There was no like romantic. Whatever. Stupid.
I think I need to watch that movie.
You can
again.
have your fucking Reylo fantasies or whatever, but like it's dumb that it's the whole rise of everything that they bring up in that movie. It's fucking
Renlo.
Last Jedi haters did this. They brought about this movie, and it's bad.
I think my only thing is, I guess I shouldn't.
Renlo? No, that's just his
Himself.
name backwards.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I just need
want.
to not see movies at Thursday.
I really think you shouldn't, because I mean, hey, you blacked out at the end. Had a better time.
I can't believe that. No, but okay.
But see, I know the blacking out that you do because I do it when I'm really tired, where you just sort of you're doing something,
You blink.
and it's
time jumps.
all of a sudden it's been half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a similar experience at the end, but it was like the lightning happened.
Yeah.
The X-Men
That lightning,
symbol happened.
They had seizure warnings.
Oh, really?
At my showing, saying
Oh,
like there's
wow.
some fucked up like screen flashing.
Well, they fucking should have.
Because that screen flashing was nuts.
Not bright enough to wake me up though.
Yeah. But her using the two lightsabers to do whatever the fuck she did and doesn't make
Two
sense.
lightsabers was strong enough to deflect lightning, even though previously in the series one lightsaber has been enough.
Fine, sure, whatever.
Why would putting a second blade that's behind the other one actually deflect the lightning better? Who knows?
I don't know. I just heard you say pudding, like pudding, like the food.
Who said you couldn't?
I don't know why my head.
Pudding?
I just want pudding now. Anyway.
I feel like it should have been like she just used her own lightning powers. Like I don't just overpowered him, and that's what
she shot lightning once in that movie and decided never to do it again.
You know what's
because she thought she killed Chewie and she didn't kill Chewie, so it's like, well then fucking.
Which
use
also
it.
why write that into the fucking movie?
Are you serious?
Okay, here's the wild moment that's happening in my head right now. I realize now that I've heard that people discuss that ending bit that I missed, and now I'm afraid that might be the only part I remember. Because
you can't remember.
I don't know how it starts.
Okay.
And I certainly apparently don't know how it ends.
You don't remember Kylo Ren fighting through a forest to find a little Sith artifact that brings him to a lightning planet that he lands on, and then he goes down a big elevator and sees a bucket of Snokes.
Oh, a bucket of Snokes.
A bucket of Snokes. Snoke clones, failed Snoke clones that are just in a big old fucking bucket.
They're in like test tube vats.
No, they're all in one test tube.
Isn't there like 3?
No, it's one big bucket with a bunch of floating Snokes in it.
What?
I've got to see that scene again because I'm sure I saw at least like 3.
The one little note I like about that is that Kylo Ren hates Snoke so much that when Rey's walking on that planet later, the Snoke bucket is destroyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everything else is fine, but the Snoke bucket is blown the fuck up.
So here's my okay.
And then he meets Emperor Palpatine, who is strapped to a big electric thing, who says, "I never fucking die, I guess, and undo the entire original trilogy."
Do you want me to give you my remembrance of what this movie is right now? Okay, so there's a crawl at the start. I think text crawl. Okay, text crawl still there. At some point.
The first line of text ends with an exclamation mark, which is always a great sign.
Okay, so now
referring to a Fortnite event.
Fast forward slightly further into the movie. Leia lays down and evaporates.
Okay, so you've missed
Is that
the middle hour and a half, I think. That's like right near the end, because she dies when to make Kylo freeze so that Rey can stab him.
Oh, okay. So evaporates. There's a scene where Rey is in a white room and Kylo Ren is not. And
that's before fighting. The evaporating.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's the
before. One with the Force thing.
Yeah.
All right, and then someone's face explodes that I missed, and then he evaporates.
Okay, so.
For all I know, this movie is a science.
So you had 5 bullet points, and 2 of them were out of order.
Hold on. Let's see if I can remember anything else here. I think,
you don't remember
the end where she buries something. Okay. I can't remember what it was though. I was still pretty tired.
Oh my gosh.
Luke,
and then she says,
technically Anakin, the Skywalker lightsaber and Leia's lightsaber.
Okay,
they're tied together, and she buries them.
Right?
At
yeah, I remember.
Luke's moisture farm on Tatooine. For some reason, she knows where it is. Yeah, moisture farming on a desert planet. That's how you make money.
Okay,
because there's nothing
to drink. Bomb rats. Womp rats.
Yeah, they're no more than 2 meters wide. Used to bullseye them in my T-16 back home.
The dongos. But you don't remember anything else.
You know what's wild is I feel like you.
And then she says her name is Rey Skywalker to the old lady that's walking by.
Yeah, that I remember. Okay. You know what's weird is you talking about her.
Yeah, that's the credits music.
Her fighting Rey earlier and killing him. For some reason,
that was on the Death Star wreckage.
So for some reason, you saying that I don't remember the movie, but I remember me playing The Surge 2. Okay, and I walked up an area that had a ramp. And I remember, and it's blown
like water
out.
Area. Okay,
no. And there's a blown out window, and I remember being like, "Wow, this looks like that Star Wars movie I just saw." But I don't remember what it was in the movie and what was happening. So in the middle of Skywalker Town, I don't remember what it's called anymore. The Surge 2 is in there in my memory.
Skywalker Town.
You know, out of everything, the thing I hate most is that when he starts talking like this, it's complete nonsense, but the eye contact and the hand gestures make you think he's talking complete sense, and it's just no.
That's what Riccio's brain remembers from movies.
It's true.
It's kind of cool.
It is actually. I like it. I like it because it's a coherent, incorrect thought about what the movie is. It's not actually. It's nonsense that your brain meshed together in a way that made sense to you. Yeah. It's not just like, I don't remember it. It's like, I remember these pieces, and my brain, instead of being like, well, I just don't remember parts of that movie, went like, that's the whole movie.
But I can tell you how Cloverfield starts and ends scene by scene. And my shoulder just popped audibly.
I was telling Liz yesterday, I think, that Rise of Skywalker might be the first Star Wars movie or property or TV show, anything, form of media, that I saw, and I have absolutely no desire to ever see it again. And to an extent, I feel that way about the 2 newest Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame. Those feel like an event of a thing that happened, and then that's it. They're over. Yeah. There's no need to see them again. And Rise of Skywalker feels like that same, like, I don't know if it's because the movies are too busy or something. They have that same kind of like.
I can't remember any of Endgame. No.
You can't remember any of them. The fact that, with Rise of Skywalker, the fact that...
What's it called? The newest one?
Endgame. You said it.
Endgame was the final one?
Yeah.
I thought Endgame was one before.
No,
Infinity War was...
I almost said After Party.
It's called Endgame.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason why I don't hate the whole film. There's parts of it where I'm just like, that's cool.
That's the thing. There's definitely good stuff in there. But as a whole, it's a jumbled mess.
The end, like, even the kiss, like, I kind of like... I could care less.
Yeah, that's true. Take it or leave it, like, whatever.
Wait, in Endgame?
No,
we're talking Star Wars.
Oh my gosh! Like people are kissing in movies.
I mean, yeah, they do, but the fact that they kiss,
technically everything that she said makes sense in Endgame as well.
As well. We're not getting into that. Don't even do that look. Don't even do that look.
That's an entire other podcast.
The fact that
we're gonna do a commentary
and Kylo
I'm just gonna yell that now. I'm gonna lower some mics.
Are the two that kiss.
Sorry, Ren, Padawan, and who? Sorry,
Kylo Scootlocker. I can't remember what I said. Scootlighter, I think is what I said.
Okay.
It's in my head a goodbye kiss. I don't care. It's fine. It's whatever it is. I don't care if it's friendship, romantic, whatever. They did it. It's done.
Was it on the mouth?
Yes. It was very feeble. Well, it was kind of passionate, but death was happening, so it was still kind of feeble and shaky.
I feel like death was happening in a way that wasn't portrayed properly on screen.
Yeah.
Because he just saved her, and they were both alive, and they kissed. And
So
then he just fell over and evaporated.
Now, did she?
If he had fallen over,
the light force,
then she kissed him, I feel like that actually would have been better.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like, oh shit, you are dying. Here's a goodbye. That makes more sense in my mind.
Riccio in the background did just ask if she took it also. I just want everyone
I meant his life force.
Okay.
Did she suck it out of him with her mouth?
No.
Listen, I know this all sounds so bad. But I mean, like, she contacted a snake with her body and gave it life. Did she take out his
Matthew?
It's not his seed.
He hand healed her. She sat up. They kissed. He gone.
He hand heals her?
Yeah, he just puts his hand like... Was it like awkwardly below her boob or something?
I think so.
Yeah. I need like, was it over top of it in a weird way?
It looked like there was
I remember noticing it being like, how are they doing this?
What is... Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I have a question, a very legitimate question here.
Okay.
How long did I blink for? Because is this like 5 minutes?
Apparently you saw
like
5 seconds of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. There's like a whole like final fight and like, yeah.
Dude, I think
like
it's like
a lot of dialogue and like people dying and then like, there's...
But the worst thing is, that's not even the part that really annoys me. It is Finn just running after her, yelling.
No, yeah, they deleted his character for him screaming. It's
like
he had so much potential as like being a force sensitive, like the idea of like a force sensitive stormtrooper like awakening and snapping out of their whole thing.
So
and, like,
cool.
Yeah, there's a lot they could do with that, and instead they just went like, oh, actually, there's more stormtroopers, and Finn really has to tell Rey something before they die, and then it never gets brought up again for the whole movie.
So is there going to be a 10th one?
Who fucking cares anymore? I'm just going to watch the original 3 and forget about all the other fucking movies.
Should just have another
and
Christmas
Mandalorian.
one.
Wait, is Star Wars hell in the future or hell in the past?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
Why?
No, I just couldn't remember. We got to have a 10th one. I mean, what the fuck happened in our past? We got to learn about it.
Literally just done. I don't know if either of you. I know you probably know what Achievement Hunter is.
Yes.
You just did what Gavin Free does.
No.
And now I know who you are in my head. You are the Canadian Gavin Free.
Give me some slow-mo cameras. I will do it. Give me that job.
What did he do?
He basically said, when is it set? Like in the future.
I knew it was one
and someone said it's in the title crawl. Like it says it.
I just can't remember if it was far in the future.
Even before that, when he's like, oh, does it say it somewhere? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, well, they should put it somewhere. And it's like the fucking start of the movie. What are you it's every movie. What are you talking about?
See, I didn't go that far.
But that's what I'm saying.
I knew it was one of them.
Allow it. But the fact that he did that reminds me of you, and now I need to leave.
But I'm okay with wet bread.
You both have the same nose, pretty much, also. So.
The sack's not stapled to my leg.
How do I know that?
Take it on word.
On word.
I don't know. On my word. My words are shit, apparently, according to that quote sheet. Oh,
why is it every time you talk about it, you fuck up?
Dude, it's just like...
They expect you to believe that Chewbacca dies off screen halfway through that movie.
Yeah.
That I remember, and I was very sad about that. I remember they're in the sand thing, and he gets took, and then it fucking crashes.
But also,
oh boy,
doesn't other people possibly dies?
Nobody cares about that.
Oh, they would have just been stormtroopers.
But
they only had the one prisoner. If you want to start talking about the ethics of just like shooting a stormtrooper,
caring, yeah. When
Finn snaps out of it, and then he snaps out of it because his one stormtrooper friend died, and then goes on to just start murdering them immediately.
I like that we're saying the same thing, and it's just like I still hate everything that's my.
You know what would have been wild is if that movie would have ended like my first experience with Star Wars. What's the Battleground 2?
Secret Apprentice?
Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 2. Where like if Kylo Ren was just like, all right, it's time to fight, and he just hops about 6 feet up into the air and gets hit by a plane and dies. Like that was the.
I mean, he did try and hit Rey with his plane. You don't remember that?
I know it from the trailer, but I can't remember what actually happens in the thing.
Exactly what's in the trailer. Rey just jumps and slices one of the fucking wings off, and he spins and crashes, and then just walks out of it like nothing happened.
Okay. Yes.
The Force.
And then a lightning fight is happening.
Yeah.
See, I remember that movie, dude. I didn't black out for the whole thing.
The whole time people found their relationship hot.
I liked it as kind of like a kind of awkward
no escape
type of thing.
Deal.
Well, when
what the fuck?
So apparently Snoke joined them so that they could speak in Last Jedi, but then they can still speak even though Snoke is dead. But then apparently Emperor Palpatine was just either controlling Snoke or made Snoke as just like a clone that he worked through. I don't know how much control he has, but so why can they still talk in Rise of Skywalker if Snoke is dead?
So the Force is a bunch of bacterias. What the fuck, dude?
What?
I said the Force is a bunch of bacterias, but I didn't want to say bacteria, but I said bacteria, but I want to say bacteria.
Oh,
yes.
I thought
that's
you were
also
saying...
correct.
See, like I know the
Technically,
lore.
it's in the canon.
See, like I know
Like
I know, yeah. See, I know where I'm coming from.
My ears were glitching out to what you were saying because you were saying something that sounded like English, but it was Bacterian, and I'm like, I don't know.
He said Bacteria.
Yeah, I said it thrice, or maybe
it
quadruple
wrong.
fives.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay to black out for 20 minutes during a movie. Listen, if ever you fall asleep during a movie, it's okay because the story is still good. If you make it what you want to make it. It's just the director's cut. You're the director in that seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've cut out 2/3 of the movie.
Okay, man. That's a cool version of the movie. Imagine
they evaporate. She in a white room. He not.
Imagine if you go to start a movie and you black out
evaporate.
and you wake up and you're like, man, it's one of those movies where it starts in the middle of it. When's it going to go back? And it never does.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the good shit, man.
Man, when's it gonna go back?
When's it gonna go? And let's go back to how I got here, and then it just doesn't.
I feel like you use the meme weird, but
weird.
Yeah, usually it's like record scratch. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, from.
But you were like, now let's go back to how I got here.
Danny's Day Off.
I just realized they didn't ever do flashbacks in Star Wars movies until the two newest ones.
What's that? There's a what flashback?
They didn't ever do flashbacks in Star Wars movies until the two newest ones. When people were telling stories.
They showed ghosts.
That's not.
There's nothing to do with. There's always ghosts. Okay. Everyone's a ghost. They're ghosts.
Yeah, they're all dead and gone by now, except Emperor Palpatine. He can't die. Even though he get thrown into Death Star core and exploded, he didn't die.
Honestly,
he lost a couple fingers and was fine. Somehow got to Sith planet, wasn't in the wreckage of the Death Star in his old throne room for some reason, because that would have been interesting.
What I'm trying to say, though...
Where's my Ewok death cult that worshipped the soul of the Emperor? Where is it?
So what I want to say, though, very serious.
Ren Padawan.
I just can't believe that of all this...
Yep.
That Han's back, man. Han is back in goddamn Furious 9 Fast, man.
And he came back in Rise of Skywalker.
Han?
Yeah.
Is he in that fucking movie?
Yes.
Han?
Not even joking. Han Solo's in Rise of Skywalker.
No, yeah. Wait. Yeah. No, okay, yeah. I was talking about... No. I was back to Fast and the Furious.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm
destroying this joke. I'm destroying this joke right now. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I fucked it up. I thought I had been misunderstood.
Han actor was in
I was super excited. I would have fucking rewatched that movie. Not blacked out this time. Maybe blacked out after the Han shot or whatever.
Ew, don't say Han shot.
I'll wait for the Han shot first, and then I'll pass out.
Oh no.
Hot jokes.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening to episode 3.
No, is that
of the super? Yes, that's actually it. Of the Super Ultimate Podcast.
Han shot.
Hope you enjoyed your time listening to all this apparently very spoiler-filled thing, but I'm glad that I got my Rise of Skywalker's thoughts out there at some point, and I'm glad we got a Riccio reminisces moment.
Did we actually put a timer, or was that actually just...
No, there's no timer.
No, I
for
said
that one.
skip till
Just
the end,
leave.
so I'm done. I don't want to talk about Star Wars
If this episode
anymore,
had a title,
so...
it would be Han Stars. I'm out.
Why?
I don't know, dude. 'Cause it says Han. It sounds like Pawn Stars. And it's like a show, and it's like a show. It's episode. There's an episode in this.
What about if people call him Han? People call him Han in Star Wars.
Yeah,
though.
people got accents, man. That's fine.
What's Han Stars?
Yeah, Han Stars, dude. So yeah, you want to watch that Pan Stars? Like that's that's just accents, dude.
Your neck's so huge.
Okay.
I have been Dan.
I'm Yalinca.
I'm Riccio. And awake.
And we hope you tune in next time for another discussion about something.
Something.
Thanks for listening.